Good morning on day 24. You'll be pleased to know this bowel movement is very solid and I feel a lot better. The plan today is to just get onto the A7 from the Scotland sign and run. I have no idea where I'm going to finish and I'm not going to try and say anywhere. All we've got to do is just follow the A7 till Edinburgh. Safe to say, we've returned to the van after both showering. I don't know about you, but I can't smell any poo. Van smells just like van instead of like turnout, which is a good sign. There's realistically not much for me to film for the next few days because everything's just going to get ruined by the vehicles and stuff. I don't feel terrible, but I am still very dehydrated. Obviously diarrhea and sickness bug like proper dehydrates you. I've drank plenty of water and stuff, but yeah, I think it's still going to be a pretty rough day today. I didn't want to take a day off at all because I knew it would make it hard to settle back into it, and that certainly feels like the case today, especially seeing as I feel still pretty weak. But we will, you know, gonna push what I can and go as far as I can today. So let's have it. All right, this is one scary looking bit of road. I'm not sure how to attack it. I think I might just sprint it. Actually, wasn't that deep.
Nah, it's good.
11-minute mile pace.
He's running well, mate.
It was probably, to be honest, the best like rhythm that I've found like since the start of the trip. Like, didn't feel that bad. Like I was just, you know, like there was still a couple of times where I had to like stop and walk and get into shitty places and stuff. Like, gets right sketchy before that bridge, doesn't it, for about half a mile. And I stopped at the top, filmed it and went, this road is like. So I stopped at the top for a second, like got myself together and then just sprinted down it. I struggled a little bit because I'm very dehydrated.
Yeah.
Like my calves are cramping up to fuck because I've just shit out and chundered out all the goodness in my body. It took me a little while to settle into a pace. You know, it felt pretty unnatural when I first set off. I was like trying not to chunder, but that tastes rank. Even though that section weren't that bad, it was still terrifying.
Oh, I can imagine.
Like, people just come fucking steaming past. And it's now really in the back of my head after seeing that crash. Like, really in the back of my head. Do you think it's appropriate to put like a picture out of that video up on the screen?
Probably not.
Well, until we know if anyone's dead. We'll keep an eye out and find out if anyone died, but if no one died, we got sent a video of it. But like, I ran past that about 10 minutes before it happened, 10-20 minutes before it happened, and then made the decision to stop because obviously the weather was that bad. Yeah, but that is now lodged up here because I'm on that road for another 74 miles.
It was an awful sight.
The next stop is a little gaff called Teviot Head. I know it's all just straight up the A7 and we have driven it already, and when driving it I was like, yeah, this is going to be rough. Officially run out of pathway now. This is where the scary part of the route really begins. It's basically like this for the next 12-ish miles. 36 hours ago, this was the lay-by that I was violently ill in. I'm now going to take a wee in it. So, progress, because I'm not shitting my pants this time. I'm feeling very, very faint. So I've asked Pud to come back and retrieve me for a little bit. I already know what I can do. I think it's just trying to obviously shake off yesterday. I'm in the safety of a lay-by currently, and I don't really want to push out much further, and then feel like not in a lay-by, do you know what I mean? So, gonna wait out here for a little while and hopefully get some sort of regain on. Sat down for a bit, feeling slightly more human again, but body's still very weak. So there's another lay-by. What was it? 2.5?
Just under 3, yeah.
Just under 3 miles down the road. Gonna make that push, rest again. Just keep like checking off like small amounts as much as I can. Like, don't get me wrong, it's a very cool road, but there's no real easy way to navigate it on foot. If I was in a sports car, yeah, great. On foot, a little bit more difficult. Sick round there, mate. Terrifying, because cars come speeding past, but very cool. Almost to the next stop, I believe it is. Not far around this corner. Oh, 22.5 miles covered today, which isn't a lot, but I'm still very pleased about. Made very good progress on the first 7.5, but I think I got myself a little bit carried away because everything after that has been a very tragic mess of trying not to violently spew. I do feel a lot better than yesterday, however still very weak and not feeling the greatest. I'd say like a solid 40% of my proper self. We're gonna get some scran and I'm gonna curl up in bed and cry like a little girl. So, have you found somewhere for us to go? Where is it?
It's a proper park up. It's got everything and it's free.
Really?
Yeah.
What, somewhere we can empty cars, eh? Where's that then?
Quick.
Ah. Well, that sounds spiffing. I was going to say if there was a lay-by on this bit of road, I'd just go to it, but...
It's like 10 miles away.
No. I said I would do it, however, Pud has taken the role of emptying the turnouts.
Pud needs a wee, so he's going to get the stuff going.
Good, because it needs a good old scrub.
What, did you hear that?
Oh no!
Chunky monkey! Oh, yeah. Whoa!
Just empty it, Pud. Oh. Oh no. Open the flush hole and put the thing in there. The hose in the flush hole. You know.
Oh my god, it's still so heavy.
Yeah, it's probably all the wipes and bog roll. God, it stinks. Oh no. That is progress. Oh, that is... I stopped filming because a man came over to help us and it was quite embarrassing. But he vigorously plunged the toilet for us and got rid of it all. He was elbows deep in there, boy. He was loving it. That was heavy, that though, wasn't it?
Was it? Oh, especially when it went.
The funny part is though, we've obviously been putting all the bog roll and toilet and wipes down there. There's a big sign behind you that says no wipes or toilet paper.
Oh, really?
Yeah, like great big sign. Go back in there and have a look on the left. Great big sign that says no wipes or toilet paper. And then you're stood there looking at it, trying to get at it with a plunger, and I'm like, I think it's the wipes and toilet paper pud. Old Donny comes round, he goes, it's wet wipes.
It's
like, oh no.
Seem as if we didn't put wipes in our toilet.
Should have said, it's when we lent into the f***ing John Essie. It is 25 to 10. And so far, we've blocked the biggest toilet I've ever seen.
If I'd known it was that big, I would have gone and had a leak in that this morning.
Yeah, probably could have, really.
Mm.
So we blocked the biggest toilet I've ever seen with 2 weeks worth of poo. And then a very friendly old Scottish man was way too keen to come in and rod it for us.
If I was him, I would have just pointed at the rod and gone, that's your problem.
Yeah, that's
Get
what I would have done as well.
But no, he just wanted to make it explode and potentially get it on his shoes.
Yeah, that was pretty violent. He wasn't even like... Do you remember when we used to have to rod drains and stuff? It would be like all gentle so that it didn't splash back on you. That motherfucker had like these 2 rods and he was going for it. And it was everywhere. It was going everywhere. And he's like, aye.
just aye.
Just aye. It's like... Some people don't even realise you can flush it. And it's like, no, we knew we could flush it.
We just didn't
want to press it. Get the rods out.
We did not want to make that much of a mess.
And we did. Pud even had to hose the... Me?
He did.
Oh, yeah. We even had to hose the...
everything.
The patio down after.
And the bog.
And the bog. Yeah, it was all over the bog.
Chunky monkey.
But we also found out that the chemicals that you're supposed to put in is... What are those? They're like litre tubs.
Yeah.
So they're litre tubs. And the last time, we just tipped the whole thing in. Didn't read anything. You're supposed to do 100 ml of chemical for every 10 litres of water. And we just put a litre of concentrated chemical in there.
Oh my God.
And even this time, we didn't read the instructions again and tipped half a bottle of it in again. And then was like, oh yeah, someone said dilute it. So it was just like, fuck it, tip the whole thing in. So we tipped the whole thing in, which was like just over half a bottle left, and then put like 5 litres of water in, and then read the instructions after, and it's like, ooh, that's not good.
Imagine, yeah, but if we hadn't have done that before, the smell that would have been coming out of that thing.
Well, the smell was mostly chemicals anyway.
Exactly.
Just with an underlying smell of poo.
But if we had gone by manufacturer's instructions and not just tipped it in like a pair
I don't also think you're supposed to leave it 2 weeks.
Yeah, true.
But yeah. Day 24 poo saga.
We are professionals.
Love you and leave you.
See you in a week.
See you in a little bit.
I'll find you somewhere.
Yes, we had a whole bottle of olive oil spill in the van, so... But I'm off. I mopped up most of it, and now Puddy's doing damage control. It's annoying, I ran like a really good chunk of that. Like a really good chunk of it. But because so much of it was just... arse.
Yeah. A lot of it was no pathways, wasn't it? It's just a bit...
Yeah, the pacing of it was just overall really slow, and I'm like, well...
We can only hope things get better.
He is. How old is that orange juice?
I don't know. Have a smell of it, taste it.
I think that might be the one that I was drinking when I had the though.
Ah, well, we'll get rid of that then.
And fell asleep fully clothed last night. Woke up at 6 o'clock in the morning, kicked my socks off. So at 6 o'clock I've slept all the way through. So I was going to get out my clothes because I was getting quite warm. I was like, no fucking point now. So I'll go back to sleep.
Yeah, it was a weird occurrence this morning when I realised your socks were on the floor. I was like, well, they're not usually there.
No. Fell asleep with them on, so I just pulled them off like half asleep and just kicked them onto the floor. I was sitting here this morning though and I watched you find the socks and go, ooh. It was 16-mile leg to Danken, whatever the fuck it's called.
I'll see you there.
I need to find somewhere to go for a wee, so I'll see you in a little bit. Bro, these hills are ridiculous. What is that noise? Is that a cow? Bro, it's a cow. What the? I've never had a cow make that noise before. Yeah, this gaff's pretty weird, you know. Look at this. That's the cow making the booky noise. But look, they've got a little cow statue up there as well. What's that gaff all about? It's supposed to be clay pigeon shooting. But you got cows making dead booky noises and a little satanic cow statue. Yeah, bro. I'm out of here. End of day 25. Another 27 miles covered. Gala Shields. We're in Gala Shields. In a nice dogging lay-by. Steak and pasta has been scranned. Now we're just waiting for the late night sexual deviants to arrive. So we can have Outpost dinner showing. And then, yeah, making the push to the edge of Edinburgh tomorrow. We're in Tesco in Gala Shields, and for some reason, it's like I'm in a weed farm with the lighting. But, Tandem Poo, hello Puddy.
Hello.
Good morning.
Good morning. Hello there.
I have been in dire need of this poo all night, so this feels unreal. So I'm not going to spoil it by filming, but thank you for coming to my TED Talk. This really is the weirdest bathroom I've ever been in. This isn't a filter. This is just what it looks like. So, what's your review on Tablet Pud?
No.
What don't you like about it?
Everything. Why is it so sweet?
An Englishman comes to Scotland and tries Tablet for the first time.
Give me a tatty scone.
You said you didn't rate that either.
It's better than a tablet.
Mate, Scottish food is just a weird way of making English food slightly worse. Like, oh, deep fry it, or a square sausage. Like, why do you need to make it square? What's the point? You know, it's just their way of just like rebelling ever so slightly. Do you know what I mean?
Why do you need about a whole bag of sugar in a little bar about this big?
Because. Why don't you?
No.
Well, Pud's tablet review.
No, thank you.
Absolutely shite.
You could like just break it up, and if you have sugar in your coffee, just bang it in the bottom of your coffee. Like.
Yeah, that's why I had a bit with my coffee. After about 2 miles on the day, I had a complete existential crisis. Called Pud up to come and get me. Basically just sat in the van and really didn't enjoy myself for a little while. Got completely in my own head about how I was going to finish this and when I was going to finish it and when I was going to get back, and got completely in my head wondering whether or not I'd made a good decision actually even going ahead with all of this. There was no thought in my mind of actually quitting. I just really wasn't having fun. The weather was pushing me to the limit. I still felt weak and was struggling. I ended up taking about an hour and a half out and just sitting in the van, and every fibre of my being just wanted to curl up in a ball and cry. I pushed on slowly, trudged down the A7, until eventually we got to the first official stop of the day.
Alright?
Yeah, you?
Yeah, man. Feeling human?
Yeah.
Good.
Took a bit of time to remind myself why I'm here, what it is that I'm doing.
Yeah, good.
And, you know, the whole reason I chose this was to hurt and, you know, be terrified of waking up. You know, what fun is living every day in comfort and mediocrity when, you know, I could wake up terrified of what's ahead of me for the day, every day, and just, like that's living, isn't it, really?
Yeah.
What, like, I was trying to think and I was like, I can't remember a single day where I've sat, like, in the office all day doing normal things, where I could turn around and tell you, like, an amazing story. And how many fucking stories could we tell from the last 3 or 4 weeks? That's what life is. Like, I might feel like it, I might feel like I'm gonna cave in. Like, you know, there's like 5-minute arguments where every 5 minutes I'm like, I'm a machine, I'm gonna kill the rest of this. Like, doesn't matter. Like, you know, I'm not a pussy. And then 5 minutes later, I'm like, white flag, I'm ready to sit down, I'm ready to go to bed and cry. But that's what I've been chasing, like, you know, like, I live a pretty obscure, like, life anyway, but, like, it doesn't test me, do you know what I mean?
That's a great little monologue.
Thanks. That's the way to end a monologue.
He's back. Where have you been?
On the A7, mate. Quite stinks.
Hey.
Ugh. Are these bulls or are these bison? I don't know, but they're big. Look at the size of him, mate. He's wham. It's right Larry as well. I think they're just bulls, but they're massive. It's really wet today. I'm not having fun. I don't really know where we are, but it's not far from Edinburgh. In some tiny little car park. There's Christmas trees in those bags. Some sort of historical monument thing over there that looks a little bit haunted. And I believe that's Edinburgh Harbour all the way down there. Quite nice up here, Pud, eh?
Lovely, mate. Well quiet.
It is. I think this will probably be like best night's sleep we've had, isn't it? Yeah. We're trying a different strategy of pooing this morning. I'm sat with the door wide open on a bucket with a black sack in because neither of us want to empty the toilet again yet. So I'm pooing in a black sack and then we've got to figure out what to do with the black sack. Today is the first time of the whole trip I'm pooing with a view. Normally it's a car park in a pub or something. We've got a real view this morning. Switch to poo view cam. Poo view. I mean, sadly I'm a little bit low down. I should have sat on top of the van and done the poo. But, you know, I can see some mountains and some greenery and stuff, so it's better than a car park. I've successfully pooed in a bag. Pud's going to put it in a bin.
Nice.
Back to the start point for the day, and I'm off to Bonnie Rig. 10 miles, A7. See you in a bit.
See you in a bit, mate.
Mwah. We got a new Scottish county. Midlothian. Booyah! Almost been hit many times this morning already. But Midlothian, I'm inside you. Guess what? No more A7.
There is no more A7.
Only one shitty A road left now, and that's A9. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. I got into the bit where it all starts splitting off in different directions.
Yeah.
And I was like, I better check where I'm going. Looked where you were. I was like, Greg's. I was like, yes, I'm real. I was like, yeah, good lad. I was like, I need as well. So I was like, yeah, Greg's is a good shout. So while Pud and I sat there and watched a young lady desperately try and park her car after 55 attempts, I was eagerly scranning my fourth pastry of the morning. So eagerly, in fact, that I ended up eating a bit of the bag. But, yep, not my proudest moment, but here we are. Gotta love a Greg's. I reckon I've just came to like 1,700 calories in pastries.
Yeah. 2 sausage, bacon and cheese melts, 2 sausage rolls, 2 cinnamon swirls.
Yeah. I'm like Noah's Ark for pastries.
The pastries coming to hurrah, hurrah.
They come out as a big brown poo, hurrah!
Hurrah!
Ah yes, it's been alright today, and now this. I'm just going to wait under my tree, because that is f***ing mental, and it's not supposed to be raining this heavy, so hopefully it passes. well, it's full marathon covered so far today, 26. Out of Edinburgh now. Didn't really film much because I'm uncomfortable filming in front of people, and obviously it's a city. About to come into the edge of South Queen Ferry, whatever it's called. Got about 2 miles left on this leg, and take a rest for a bit, and then get over the Forth Bridge tonight into Dunfermline sort of territory, ready to push to Perth tomorrow. So yeah, the first big leg of Scotland is over, which is nice, because that A7 was miserable.
Get yourself on your charger.
I can't hear what you're saying.
Charger's there.
Please hold. Yes, that's what needed.
Yeah, so I was watching your battery life drain.
What?
I was watching your battery life drain.
I don't know why it's so fucked. I've barely been on it.
That's mad, isn't it? Well, welcome to Queen's Ferry.
Thank you.
How was going through Edinburgh?
Bad. Quite easy. There's a lot of slow up hills and then a lot of slow down hills, so I just walked the slow up hills and ran the slow down hills, so it wasn't too bad.
Yeah.
And then just cut through the traffic when I could be arsed and sprinted. But like it wasn't right for the city centre. It was kind of like south side of the city centre, so it wasn't too bad.
I was kind of scooted around the edge of it, like.
Other than that rain that came out of nowhere.
Yeah, that was bollocks. That was.
Right, it was fine. Like it looked like it might spit a little bit. I weren't really paying much attention, and I was checking something on my phone at that point. I was checking something, and I was covered by trees at that point in time. And I'm like, and I looked up, and it was just hammering down, and I was like, I'm going to put my coat on and run to a different tree that looks a bit more waterproof, because these are not very waterproof. So I swiftly untied my coat, put it on, sprinted about 30 yards because there looked to be a nice tree there, and I'm just stood there. It's like there's one little tree sticking out over this wall, and it was quite dense. I was like, this will do. I was like, I'm just going to patiently wait here until it is all passed. It didn't say it was supposed to do this, so I assume it would pass. I'm going nowhere.
It was fucking awful.
It was very awful.
I was walking around a lake. I was like,
no coat on either.
It's like this. It's like.
Last few miles of the day. It's a pretty cool few miles. I've got like just under 5 miles left before I finish up and we go to Ellen Amers for some scran and a shower. But look at this. Like, this is pretty cool, isn't it? We're just gonna wander this and just have like a nice peruse over the bridge. Not often you get to walk over big bridges like this. The closest thing we got at home is Dartford Bridge, and if you walk up that you get arrested. So I'm gonna enjoy my few moments of what is actually quite blissful. I don't know what they've used this road for, but anything I've seen go over it so far is like 2 buses. So I'm gonna have a nice stroll over. Look at that though, that is cool, isn't it? Oh, well, that is. It's like a castle or something in the middle. As I wandered over the Forth Bridge with childlike wonder into Fife, I just couldn't help but take in the views and stuff. Like I said, if you walk over Dartford Bridge at home, you get nicked. So it's quite nice to actually be able to look over such a beautiful body of water. Don't know if I'd want to swim in it, but yeah. Definitely found out I might actually be slightly scared of heights as I peered over the edge on this, because it was very high up and very scary. But I made the last few miles into a small town of which I can't remember the name, and this is several days later, so I'm not checking. And Hood come and pick me up. We went to Ellen Amers and had some lasagna, and then basically called it a night. I forgot to shower because I was too ready to go and curl up into bed and fall asleep. So as I'm recording this, I'm now 10 days without a shower, and I am definitely feeling grotty. But that is going to be the end of this video, so if you made it this far, please do leave a like, subscribe if you are indeed new. We are raising money for Stroke Association and Walking with the Wounded, so if you do want to support the 2 charities, there is a link to donate in the description below. It goes 50-50 to each charity, every penny, so it is supporting 2 great causes. That said, don't just suck it, Halford suck it. Big love, peace out, and I'll see you all in the next video, man. Safe.